Hey folks, welcome to the Opening Bell with Dan Frio. I am Dan Frio. Today is March 6th, 2021. I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to stop the jabbering and even the intro video because we're losing time. The attention span of a lot of people, they're getting in and getting out of the video. So I want to make this as streamlined as I can. So let's talk about where the economy is right now. Jobs report came in last Friday. Fantastic. Almost 1 million jobs created in March. Some news came out today, the JOLT index. There's almost 7 million job openings right now. So companies are starting to hire. We have the vaccines, which are doing fantastic. Within the next 60 days, they're saying everybody basically is going to be vaccinated. You have the stimulus package that went out. It's putting more and more money into people's pockets. What are they doing with that money? The savings rate right now is usually about 3 to 5%. Meaning how much money people have in the bank. Right now it's 30%. People are flushed with cash. The majority of it. I know a lot of people are struggling, but there's a lot of people out there that are flushed with cash. You know, during the pandemic, I stayed home every weekend. Not pandemic, I'm out probably Friday night, Saturday night, and each night I spend maybe $100, $200. Okay, that's $100 or $200, over each weekend. That's a lot of money saved over a duration of a year. So let's focus in on some of these areas. So with all that going on, let's focus on where am I investing? I'm just a mortgage guy. I'd love to help you if you're in need of a mortgage, you're looking to build, buy, refinance, or you're in a forbearance and need some help. I'd love to help you. I do this for educational and entertainment purposes only. I wanted to make this simple to you because Wall Street is this I'll say it's a boys club that's out there that's, people just don't think they can compete in. And I'm going to show you ways on how you can do some research and maybe compete with the big boys in that area. So I'm just doing this for educational and entertainment purposes. So what I'm focusing in my portfolio is with everything going on, the world's going to open back up. So what's going to happen? We're going to have travel. Okay, headline news. What do you see in the headline news every day? Between Bitcoin and semiconductor shortage. Okay, you got those areas. And then the infrastructure bill. What's that going to do? Where I'm playing in that area is energy, because it takes energy to produce basically everything that they're going to do. If you want machineries, you want, all plastics, oils, everything like that is used with energy. So those are the areas that we're going to focus on, as well as financials. With rates going up, financials such as banks and so forth make more money because there's a bigger spread in interest rates. So that's what we're going to focus on. Okay, so let's get into it. Where I do a lot of my research is I go into Yahoo, CNBC. I have a bunch of newsletters that I've subscribed to, as well as Schwab. I do a lot of research on Schwab. So let's go on what's happening in the markets right now. Well, let's go to the headlines right now. So let's go through and see. Here's a chip shortage right here. So we want to focus on that. We go over to here, and here's some stocks that I recently looked at. We're going to cover that in a second. You go down through, let's see if there's any other areas. XRP, that is cryptocurrencies. So we're going to focus on cryptocurrencies. Jobs report, it's a good jobs number. FOMC. The FOMC basically, and Powell, this is the Federal Reserve chairman. So you might see on some of my thumbnails and such, he controls a lot of the world's finances, believe it or not. Okay, so that's one of the areas that I focus on. Then I go to CNBC. You can pull up market indexes. So let's go through there. The S&P is up 2% right now. NASDAQ is up 1. I'm sorry, not 2%. 2 points. NASDAQ is up 1. Dow's down 10. FTSE and all the other ones are right here. Okay, market movers. These are some of the top market movers. You go through here. Norwegian Cruise Lines, guys, that's on the travel piece of things. I'm going to start researching that, but I don't really research this one because cruise ships, I think, are still a little ways out of making some money. We focus on the 10-year treasuries and such. I'm going to focus on that at the end with mortgage rates and bond yields. And then we go to the futures indexes. What's oil doing? Oil is up 3% today. Okay, so now let's start looking at these things. Every day I go over a kind of a wish list or a watch list that we go over, and I condense this a little bit. You might still say, Dan, there's still a ton of stocks there. Guys, there's a reason for this, because I try to cover every sector of the market that I'm interested in, and then I watch, the daily results, and other things, and then I'm going to show you, eventually I'll show you how to really research a stock, looking at its PE ratios, looking at its dividend yields, its growth rates, where it fits in its sector. You know, is it the top-notch company in its sector or not? So those are areas that you want to focus in on, and we're going to gradually move into those. But I just want you to think. So right now, we're going to say, with the energy play, well, let's first go back to the core stocks that I hold, which is Google, Apple, and Facebook. Google's up 0.04 today, but look at the returns you got here. Price change year to date and versus the S&P 500. So a lot of financial analysts and wealth advisors and so forth, their plan is their goal is to beat the S&P 500. So that's this column right here. We want to say, how much is it beating the S&P 500? This is the daily change, and then the change versus the S&P 500. I'm sorry, not the daily change, the year-to-date change, okay? So we got Google here, which is up 27% year-to-date. It's beating the S&P by 14%, okay? Apple, it's down 5% right now, year-to-date. This is a cheap stock right now, believe it or not. This is a play where, especially if Apple gets into the EV, which is electronic vehicle market, they have enough money that they could bury basically anybody in this field. They're down 14% against the S&P. So I'm looking to maybe add to my positions in Apple because I think it's fallen behind all the other indexes and all the other stocks in its field, and it's top of class. Facebook, it's up 13% year to date and is beating the S&P 500 by 2%. Hey, it's still beating it. Okay, so that's where we are there. So now let's go into where I'm focusing in on the energy sector. That's the first area we're going to focus in on. I added to my positions on a basically a weekly or bi-weekly basis. And these are the areas where I'm focusing on or adding to my positions. One is Gush. Gush is it's a riskier play because they use derivatives and other investment vehicles to try to beat the market by multiples. Okay, you can see today it's up 5 or 6%. It's up year to date 83%. It's beating the S&P 500 by 76%. Okay, these are in my possessions. These are stocks that I own and or watch. Gush is one that I own. RYE, is I just added to my positions in RYE. So let's find RYE. Where is RYE? Did I miss it? Bear with me 1 second. I must have missed it. Let's go back to the top. RYE, I apologize. It's right here. RYE, this is also an energy play that I have. It's up 2% today, up 30% on the year. It's beating the S&P 500 by 22%. PRN is another ticker symbol that I hold positions on. It's up 12% year to date. It's beating the S&P by 5%. So these are areas, guys, I want you to do your research on these stocks that I'm giving you and see if it's a good fit for your portfolio. But the reason, again, why I'm buying it is because the new infrastructure bill that Biden's trying to put in of $2.something trillion into the infrastructure bill, the money's going to go to somewhere. One of the big sectors it's going to go to is energy, in semiconductors and other areas, but energy because of the infrastructure bill of building stuff. Okay, XLE is a position that I hold, and the reason why I hold XLE, it's an ETF that we talked about ETFs yesterday, right here. What ETFs are, they're basically a basket of stocks. Let's say this ETF might hold 20 or 30 different energy stocks. Okay, that's why I do that. So you might have, 5 of those stocks go down, 5 of those stocks don't do anything, and 10 of those stocks go up for the day. So that means you're a winner for the day. So today it's up 1.5%. Year to date, it's up 29.5%. It's beating the S&P 500 by 22.24% this year. Okay, so those are my the picks. Now, I just came back from Florida, and a lot of people were down there, and they're traveling to Disney. Disney is my opening up the world stock pick. So they hold positions in, actually Disney, then Disney cruise ships. They own ESPN. They own a ton of stuff that you probably wouldn't even realize. Okay, it's falling behind the markets, but it's poised to when things do open up and they start coming out with earnings later in the year, you're going to see this stock just rally. So far year to date, it's up 4%. Let's think of this. In your bank account, you have money in your savings account. It's getting 0.005%. You're up 4% on Disney. It's Disney. They're not going anywhere. They're not going out of business. Okay, so that's the play I'm doing there. Another one, believe it or not, is I'm looking at Ford. Ford is my all-in bet, meaning it's travel, it's green energy, it's infrastructure, it's new technology. So let's look at what Ford's doing. Ford's up 1% for the day, 44% for the year. Ford, guys, Ford. The old Ford car that you thought about. It's up 44% year to date. It's beaten the S&P 500 by 31. Okay, so those are that area. My finance sector is I buy positions of the XLF because this is an area that's really hard to focus in on. It's basically financial. So you got Wells Fargo, Citibank, Bank of America, all these companies. You don't know what they're going to do. So I buy a basket, and this is a basket. It probably contains 30 or 40 different financial stocks. That's why I get it. I'm up 0.14 for the day, 17.84 year to date, and I'm beating the S&P 500 by 10%. Okay, so now semiconductors. You see semiconductors on all of the major news channels saying there's a shortage. Okay, so how do we play the semiconductor stocks? Well, XSD is the spider or the ETF that it has the semiconductors in it. It's still lagging. I think this is going to have a huge run. These three that I'm recommending and focusing in on myself. It's up 12% on the year. It's only beating the S&P 500 by 5%, but it's still beating it. PSI and SOLX is two other areas. So now you have SOLX. This is the semiconductor bull 3 times. So they use derivatives, options, and other investment tools to try to really blow out earnings and really beat the other semiconductor stocks or ETFs. And you can see that they do that. They should have a 3 times return or a 3 times loss. Well, right now when we have the returns going on, that's fantastic. So let's look at that return. Year to date, it's up 44%. Year to date. It's beating the S&P 500 so far this year by 37%. And then we have PSI right here. It's the dynamic semiconductor power shares. It's up 23% on the year to date. It's beating the S&P 500 by 15%. So guys, you can see a lot of these, basically everything right now is in the green. And those are the areas I'm focusing on today. So please do your research on those. You might be very pleased to find out, there's something in there. Even these old timer stocks like Ford, you can make a lot of money in the Ford stocks. Okay, so that's where we're at today. What's going on with the dollar? The dollar is trending down, which isn't a surprise. If you follow my channel every day, I'm expecting the dollar to trade about $90 a share because of the stimulus package, and especially if the new infrastructure bill goes through, that's going to be even more money into the system, diluting the dollar. Okay, so now where's cryptocurrencies for today? Bitcoin down 1 for the last 24 hours, down 1 for the last week. Ethereum is up 13% on the week. These are the two areas that I focus on. Bitcoin is the cryptocurrency. It is the cryptocurrency. It's the bomb. Okay, so if you're going to buy any cryptocurrency, I would highly suggest you do your research on Bitcoin. There's a lot of others you can see through here that are up. XRP is up 31%, 62% in the week. There's a huge amount of earnings here. Not earnings, but there's a huge amount of upside here. But when something's trading at under $1, I don't really get the warm and cuddly feeling about it. Where Bitcoin is, the Google of the internet. This is if anything's going to stick and stay in the cryptocurrency field, it's going to be Bitcoin. Ethereum is the platform that most of these cryptocurrencies trade on or through. So this is basically the technology behind cryptocurrencies. Okay, so that's why I hold a bigger position in Ethereum than I do Bitcoin, because to buy Bitcoin, you have to use the Ethereum network. So everybody buying Bitcoin is transactioning through Ethereum. So do a lot of homework on these two areas right here. And year to date, I don't know exactly what the year to date returns on these things, but it's nuts. Okay, so now let's go on to what's going on with the bond market. We focus here. Most people come and follow me each evening to figure out what's going on with mortgage rates. Okay, and we focus on this number right here. This is what's happening with the mortgage-backed securities market. It's a bond that trades on Wall Street, tick by tick by tick, all day long during trading hours. And as this number goes up, this is what's happening to the price of the bond. As the price of a bond goes up, the yield or your mortgage rate goes down. Okay, so let me go into this field right here. This is a better chart to watch. So people that follow me every day, we monitor this for me to give an educated opinion or idea on where rates are going. Look at this nice trend we got going on right now. Again, guys, remember, up means the price is going up, the yield or your mortgage rate is coming down. That's great news. And follow me in the evenings if you want to have more information in regards to real estate, the mortgage market, and how to invest or buy a home. The next thing is we watch is the 10-year Treasury. It's down 5 ticks, which is great. Once this went over a yield of 1.4, a lot of people started moving out of mortgage-backed securities and out of stocks and buying bonds. As this is starting to drop, and you're going to see that we have a nice little trend. It's going. It's basically been steady, but it's going down the last few days. Nothing big, but it's going down. We like that because it's now pushing people to buy into mortgage-backed securities, driving up the price and down the yields again. And it's also pushing more and more people into the stock market. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you like the channel. I hope you like my video. If you would, please give me a thumbs up. Every thumbs up helps me get my word out to more and more and more people and helps the algorithms get out there and boost my views. Follow me on the rate update with Dan Frio. And then also, if you're in need of a mortgage, if I can help you in any way or you have a question on a mortgage, just go to therateupdate.com. Scroll down below. There's our 800 number right here, 844-775-LOAN. That's 844-775-5626. Or you can schedule an appointment. You can schedule a 15, 30, or 60-minute appointment. Just click here, pick the time and day that fits your schedule. We'll get back with you. We'll email you, text you, call you, and we can do this meeting via phone call or Zoom, however you'd like it. If you want to get the mortgage application started, just click here. If you're mobile app savvy, if you're desktop savvy, click here. If you're I don't really know what I need or want to do. If you're looking to buy a house, click here. It's going to answer about 14 questions. Based on those answers that you provide, it helps me put you into the perfect program. And this is the button to click if you're looking to refinance. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Have a good financial day, and I'll see you at 4 o'clock. Bye-bye.